What's up guys, this is our Akali first impressions video, and sort of like I guess a mini guide built in. I'm John, this is Fern, we're the coaches for Excel Esports. A bit of background, I've played this champ 3 or 4 times. You've not played it or seen it or read anything about it?
I kind of ignored it because we haven't been able to play it competitively and it's just come out this week, and I haven't really had any time to kind of focus on it, but you've had a little bit of solo queue time this weekend.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is, rather than just going through the web page like some people would normally do, we're going to actually show it in the game, and then we're going to have like one-on-one with it, and I'll talk about any tips and tricks that I've learned as we go through. So we'll start off with just the abilities then. So passive, first of all, when you use an ability, someone gets like a ring around them. I'll show you that now. Once I go out of this ring, I pick up my katana, I get empowered attack, scales both AD and AP, but does magic damage. And it's total AD, bonus AP, obviously. And it restores energy, which scales up. You also get a burst of movement speed when you proc it, and also when you go out of the ring as well. So if I'll do that a bit slower. So you get a little bit of movement speed there, and then when you leave the ring, you get a little burst.
Usually like 125 move speed or something.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so then I'll go through all the abilities then. Q, this is your main ability. Fires out a bunch of shurikens in a row. There's a few things with it. Again, scales with flat AD, bonus AP. The enemies at the tip in this little area here that you can see. I don't know why I pointed to it. This area here, enemies are slowed. So that is slow as well. And then
it's a really short cooldown ability as well.
Yeah,
right?
super short cooldown ability. Very high energy cost. We'll come to the energy cost later. If cast near full energy, I think it's about 80% energy. It also heals you. So what happens is your energy bar goes orange. So that's now going to heal.
Okay.
If I do that. If I do it now, it doesn't heal. Second time.
Right.
And then when it comes back, you'll see it come. Okay. At max rank, it deals more damage to minions and monsters. Again, This is your max. You want to wave clear with this.
The ability max first, right?
Yeah, I'll show you some like combos and stuff with it. Next one is the classic Akali ability.
Your Twilight Shroud.
Twilight Shroud, yeah. So this one, unlike before, you don't get to cast it really far away from you, but you can do like a little bit close.
Okay.
It makes a ring. You're obscured in this ring, which means that nothing can ever target you.
That ring expands to a bigger size, does it?
It expands quite quickly to the size that it is at.
Okay.
The little things with this, she's a really complicated champion actually, really cool. The things with this are, it grants her movement speed while she's in it. If you get swept or something, if someone's using a sweeper, they know where you are, but they can't attack you. If you're under a tower, you know where you are, but they can't attack you. The tower doesn't attack you either. Every time she goes in and out of vision, it increases the duration. So at the moment, it lasts 5 seconds up to 8. 0.5 for every time you come in and out. So if I cast like this, it'll be 5 seconds, and then if I jump in and out, either by leaving it like this or by hitting someone, and then this. Might as well talk about I'll talk about the other ability while it's on cooldown. Actually no, I'm not. I'm going to refresh cooldowns. Super important thing to do with this is you can use it if they're on one side to, while being invisible, I still get out of that range. Passive is super important to make use of.
Okay.
So I'll give myself another level up, turn that back off. Last regular ability, Shuriken. You throw, does physical damage, just scaling with flat AD. Or maybe bonus, actually, I'm not sure. Should probably check that. You jump backwards, you mark a target, you press it again, it reactivates. One of the super good things about this ability is that regardless of where you are, if you're right next to them, still gets you out of that range. It's like the exact range of your passive, still gets you out to use it.
So it's quite an easy electrocute proc as well, right? If that's what you are running, the way it looks at it, it's like you
run in, hit, and then you've got all 3 electrocute.
Yeah.
I'll just give myself a couple more levels. I didn't want to talk too much about levels because it makes a difference to actually the abilities. Then your ult is like 2 dashes. You don't have to hit anyone with the dash. The first one is slower. It deals physical damage and is micro stun, so it like disrupts stuff, stops channels, all that kind of stuff. Okay. One of the things to note is, as you can see, that's like an actual run dash.
Yeah, it's not a blink, it's a dash.
Whereas the second one is a blink, like really quick. So if you're playing as Poppy or something, it's very easy to interrupt the first W. The first ult, not so easy to interrupt the second one. First one scales off AD and does physical damage. Second one scales off AP and does magic damage, and it's an execute. It does more based on missing health.
Okay. So she does a bit of both then. It's mostly magic damage, but she does a bit of both, but it scales with both. Everything scales with both.
Yeah,
like
most
she
things
used to.
scale with both, yeah. This doesn't, this only scales off AD.
Okay.
Another thing is, again, it's the range exactly to proc your passive. So super, super useful. The passive, basically the difference, at least at the moment from what I've seen, the difference between really good Akalis and not so good Akalis is using that passive. Gets you the energy back, does an awful lot of damage, and gives you the movement speed. You want to be coming in and out and using the passive all the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any cooldown.
As with like all energy-based champions, they have like infinite amount of usage of spells, but it's all about energy management to get real rotations in.
Yeah.
And obviously when you've got a clear way of restoring some of that energy, you need to be weaving that in between your combos to make sure you get lots of combos off.
The ult is no cost whatever. The Q, which is your wave clear ability, the energy cost goes down, so it starts at 100. I put 2 points in it by accident, so it's 95 now, and it drops all the way down
5 each time
to 80. Yeah, and then the W restores more and more energy, up 10 each time, so it restores 80 energy by this rank.
So she only really got her Q and E that cost energy.
Yeah, I mean this costs 30 energy. You have 200. It's not actually that much.
And that stays the same.
Flat 30.
Okay.
So at the beginning you could only cast like 2 Qs, but now you can do Q, and again if you're hitting your passive you can do more, and once I've got full energy again, with using this you can do a bunch of Qs in a row. So you want to be, when you've got full, you want to use it, then you want to use it again, then you can use it again, and then I can put my W down and use it, and again if I keep using my passive, I keep regenerating more energy. Twilight Shroud lasts longer and longer now, because it's got more ranks in it. This now lasts 7 seconds up to 10. So the increase from going in and out stays the same. So at max it's only actually 2 seconds longer, but at minimum the 2 seconds obviously makes a big more difference. So it goes from 5 to 7, but the total goes from 8 to 10. The super standard build for Akali: Gunblade first.
Like he used to be.
Sorcerer Shoes. This I think is fairly, although I have seen people experimenting, this is fairly standard.
That's like your
From
core.
there, you can actually do multiple different things. As you've seen, there's an AD scale on your passive, there's an AD scale on your Q, there's an AD scale on your E, there's an AD scale on the first part of your ult as well. So I've seen Triforce seem to go quite well. Triforce, Sterax be a bit more tanky. With a full build like that, Triforce and Sterax, your DPS, which I tested a bit earlier, is normally around 350, whereas with a full AP build, something more like this, it's around 700. So a lot more DPS, but still not low DPS with a more tanky build.
Huge amount of burst from this type.
I think this is the standard one you'll see. One of the other things that's super interesting though, because you've got AD scales, is that build is super, super strong. You've got stealth, you've got a lot of spell vamp, you go in and out, you keep proccing your Lich Bane, and you've got GA as well.
Yeah.
Really, really strong.
That's a really nice thing about these champions that scale with both, is that you have so many options for every situation. You pretty much have an option to do what you want.
Oh, something I think I completely missed. With your E, you throw it out at them, and then you recast it, you jump back to them. Which I'm not sure if I even said, even in a base thing.
That follows every single dash or movement spell.
Has any range that you want.
Yeah, so that is one thing that we did try before I even read for any of it. I just saw that this, I believe, was a thing, so...
Yeah, we'll
look at that later.
Oh, something I think I completely missed. With your E, you throw it out at them, and then you recast it, you jump back to them. Which I'm not sure if I even said, even in a base thing.
That follows every single dash or movement spell.
Has any range that you want.
Yeah, so that is one thing that we did try before I even read for any of it. I just saw that this, I believe, was a thing, so...
Yeah, we'll
look at that later.
Yeah, we'll show examples of that later. So the other thing you can do with your E is, however far you are, it still reactivates, goes the whole way. Last thing, little thing with your E, if you get like any distance, you recast your E, you can Zhonya's while you're flying along. Doesn't increase your Zhonya's timing, but if you, let's say, ult someone and they jump all the way back through their team, when you're recasting your E, you can be targeted, so you can be killed as you run through their team, but you can Zhonya's while flying towards them. It doesn't break the charge at all.
And that will give you time to like not get CC'd, go straight into W, and maybe jump back out, or
you run out,
or something along those lines, right?
Okay, cool. So Summoner spells, standard I think is going to be TP, but also we can take Ignite for this 1v1 in mid lane. Runes, it's always Electrocute. Almost always Sudden Impact. I have seen Taste of Blood for a bit more extra healing.
Yeah.
Your next choice is Eyeball Collection, which is the standard one, or Ghost Poro, sorry. Ghost Poro, I think, in a side lane, if you're on the side of the map where you can put it in tri-bush easily, so if you're bot laning and red side, or top laning and blue side, I think that's one that's worth taking. So you can get that adaptive damage by placing it in enemy vision, enemy territory. And then your bottom run of that is pretty much your choice. I personally like Ravenous Hunter, I like the extra cooldown. Ultimate Hunter is good, your ultimate's super strong. Ravenous. Relentless, also good, you want to be roaming about a lot. And Ingenious Hunter, you're going to have active items. So all of them are actually good.
Okay.
The next thing then is secondary. So I personally like Resolve secondary. I take Bone Plating and Chrysalis to help you get through laning phase, help you not be poked as easily. You can also take Sorcery and take Scorch and Water Walking. Celerity and Scorch.
Okay.
Because you're getting, from your passive, you're getting all that movement speed. So we both take Akali, both take Ignite. I'm taking Resolve secondary.
Yeah, I'm going to Resolve secondary too.
Yeah. Cool. So you want to be starting with Q, regardless of what lane you're going in.
What item start, John? Do you normally go...
Doran's Shield, I think, is almost always the best.
Pretty nice versus anything that's going to outrange you, which
is
everything range.
Yeah, you're short range, you're going to be taking a lot of damage, but coming in and out. You want to have a lot of regen, so you can always get back to your tower, all that kind of stuff.
And you start Q normally?
Yeah, you start Q normally, max Q. Second maxing, I mean, I've been experimenting with both, to be honest. E is a lot more burst, shorter cooldown on that, really useful.
Technically, E's probably better, right?
I mean, W gives you more energy back, so I'm not sure. I think either can be useful depending on what you're doing. If you're snowballing, I definitely take W. If you've got to just kill one person, then maybe E is better. So the first thing that you'll find, especially if you're doing it on smart cast, is Q is much shorter range than you think it is. So you think you'll be able to hit people like this, and then you can't. So that's something that just takes a while to get used to. Again, as we said before, when you've got that orange energy bar, it means it's going to regen, heal you for some as well.
I'm out of energy. You lose energy so quick on this one.
Yeah. So, as I said, the Q scales less and less energy the more it goes on. But really, when you're against Akali as well, when she uses her Q to wave clear, so if I want to get the shove, I'm going to just start pushing, but I'm going to be out of energy like really quickly. Your passive restores energy even if you don't hit champions, even though you only proc it if you hit champions. So I can also do this. I can hit you here, and then
just this champion.
Not take tower damage, because that's sort of super fun. As you saw there, though, I'm bad. As you saw there, though, it's really not something that's advisable. So if I just stay this range, your E as well, as you've noticed there, if you miss a champion but you hit the smoke shroud, you can jump back to that.
I didn't realise that.
Okay, so I've not played Akali mid yet. I've only been playing a bot. That's only just because I queue both, and then whenever I can play it, I play it. So I'm not sure how this matchup's going to go. What I'm expecting is to have to play the first few levels really safe, use my Dorans, even though I've got some range as well. I think your Q is going to do a lot more than my Q.
Yeah, you probably get shoved in versus most of these kind of range pusher matchups, right?
Yeah. So hence getting teleport in this scenario. Still going Resolve secondary for the same reasons as before, and we'll just see how this goes. Oh no, I missed my last Q. Would have killed him. Okay, what I did there, which is another trick, is that just because you have to go through, you have to get rid of your, get out of the range for your passive, doesn't mean you have to actually go backwards. You can go forwards as well. So there, that last Q, I run in front with the Galio rather than running back, so that I can still proc my passive but also get in between him and the tower. Missed my last Q, so don't get killed because I'm really bad. regenerating out with my Door and Shield. This is why you really need Door and Shield. As soon as I get 80 regen, follow the whole way there and get first blood like that.
That's the thing about energy champs. It's just like I had no resource. Normally, I'd just run back and have to TP.
Yeah.
So I literally had no mana to do much. So
cool. So that's it then for our Akali first impressions, tips and tricks 1v1 video. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe. If you want to know any other champions that we want to do like this, we'll try and do new ones in this way. We just wanted to do something basically a little bit more interesting than just looking through the abilities and reading them out to you.